In a previous video, we looked at the values of each note and did it in like a tree form so you can see how they kind of relate. Let's do the same thing for rests. Now, the biggest rest that we're having at the moment is the semi-breve rest, which remember is the box that hangs from a line. Now, that one at the moment is worth 4 beats or 4 crotchet beats. So the smaller one, the next one down, was the box that sits on the line. So that's a minim rest and it's worth 2 beats. The one underneath that kind of looks like a Z with a hook at the bottom and it's worth 1 beat. Now basic mathematics works for all this. You could go and say, well, 2 of those are going to be equal to 1 of those, or 4 of those is equal to 1 of those, or you could have 2 of those plus 1 of those equals 1 of those. They all relate. Now the next one underneath that was the quaver rest, so it looks like that, and it's worth half a beat. And then the smallest one that we've got now is the semi-quaver rest, and it's worth quarter of a beat. So again, you can go and say, well, 4 of those is equal to 1 of those, or you could say 4 of those is equal to 1 of those, and come up with all these different mathematical equations. But that's all the rests that we need to know at this point. So 5 different rests. So you've got the whole note or a semi-breve rest. This one is a minim rest, or can be called a half note rest. Crotchet rest or a quarter note rest. This one is your quaver rest, or you can call it an 1/8 note rest. And then you've got the semi-quaver rest, which is a 16th note rest. It's really good to get to know both names because in different contexts you'll hear it used both ways. Now just one other note, I did say that this can be a whole bar rest. So really, if I was in 2/4, for example, and I saw one of those rests, the box hanging from the line, I could also say, well, that'd be exactly the same size as a box sitting on the line. So in this case, the whole note rest is going to be equal to the half note. So that can always take up a whole bar rest in any time signature. So that's the values, and it's good to get to know those value trees.